both of them, but I enjoy drawing more. When I paint, I often make a mess and just cannot bend to the colors properly. I find drawing to be easier and something you can do on the go, such as on the underground or doodling on your notes during class. Definitely portraits. I've always been inclined to draw the human face, capturing their intricate features and expressions. When I travel, I take photographs of local people, then later replicate them to keep those memories alive. Of course, it was one of my favorite classes. Since I was never a math or science person, art was always a creative outlet for me. I felt like I needed it after all the stress and logical thinking throughout the day to do. Not to mention my art teacher was really cool and zany. Absolutely. Not as often as I used to because of time and adult responsibilities, but I still manage to draw a few times per week, especially to unwind before bed. Furthermore, I intend to go on a 2 or 3 week holiday abroad each year, so I sketch people there. Hmm. When I went to Madrid on business last month, it had always been a bucket list item to visit the Prado Museum to see the original Guernica by Picasso, one of my idols. So I made time to do that. It was worth it. Abstract and travel art. I've never been into classical art. I like having Picasso paintings where you can't really tell what the real meaning of the painting is to allow more space for you to form your own perception. Moreover, I like filling my home with portraits from those I met traveling to keep their memory alive. Endless. I think firstly art is a great therapy for people, no matter what condition they're suffering from. Secondly, art is an outlet for creativity, which some people cannot express in their daily lives. Lastly, it's thrilling and rewarding to gain new artistic skills.
Drawings and paintings, something I don't really know a whole lot about. Art's not really my strong point. Okay. So, like I said, I don't really know much about art. So I don't know what it means to bend to the colors properly. Everything else is fine. Making a mess, I understand that. Bending to the colors, I don't know what that means. But doing something on the go, that's a good phrase to use. So when you're on the move, you're going from A to B, like she says here on the underground. You can doodle on your notes during class. No, that's during class. That's not on the go. All right. So when you're on the underground, you're on the go because you're on the move. So this on the go, that's a useful phrase to use. What kind of things do you like to draw? And then she talks about taking photographs. Okay, so if you're going to talk about photographs instead of drawing, that's not a huge problem, but then you should tell the examiner why you're talking about taking pictures and not drawing. So you could, for example, say, well, I'm not really all that into drawing, but I do take pictures. And when I travel, I blah, 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 blah. But you have to announce why you are changing the topic. Otherwise, they're going to wonder, what are you talking about? Okay, so she uses the word portraits. Well, there are either portraits or landscapes. I guess there's also abstract art. So portraits are pictures of people, landscapes. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Capturing. I guess if you are very good at painting, then your paintings are able to capture whatever it is. Intricate is a good word to use. It means like very fine detail. I don't know how you replicate photographs. Don't you just make copies? I think make copies, not replicate. Replicate is kind of a weird word to use here. But keeping the memories alive, that's fine. Although I don't know why the original photograph can't keep the memories alive. But anyway, yeah, keeping memories alive, that's fine. Replicate, a little bit unusual. Art at school. Okay, a few things. Okay, so this math person. So if you like math, you're a math person. If you like cooking, you're a cooking person. If you like, well, whatever noun you want to use, you can use that noun with person. Well, it can also be an adjective, like for example, artsy person. But anyway, you can use nouns also. So if you enjoy this noun, you can add it to person to make this phrase. A creative outlet for me. All right. I don't know why. I guess the art classes were at the end of the day because she talks about throughout the day. And then she says, I needed it after the stress and logical thinking throughout the day to do. I don't understand the to do. That's kind of weird. Stress. You don't do stress. After all the stress, logical thinking. You don't need the to do there. I don't know what's going on there. Zany. That's a good word to use. Zany means like a little bit crazy. Used to describe people. Only people. No, that's not true. Not only people. You can describe other things also that are slightly crazy as zany. Alright, I think I mentioned before that furthermore is not the best word to be using in the part 1 speaking. Here we see furthermore again. Alright, okay, so she is using this phrase used to contrast the past with now. She goes on to give a reason. That's something I don't often hear people do. Sometimes they say, yeah, I used to, but I don't anymore. And they just stop there. They don't explain why is it different now? What caused the change? Now, manage to. If you succeed in doing something difficult, you can use this manage to. So I still manage to. Actually, I don't know why this is in the past tense. Why is it in the past tense? Is this... Maybe that should just be managed to. I think that's maybe my mistake. This should be in the present tense. I made a mistake with the subtitles. Okay, but I still manage to. So she's still able to do something despite the problems, and the problems here, I guess she's very busy, so she doesn't have time. Okay, the unwind, instead of saying relax, you can use the phrase unwind. But now this furthermore, I intend to go on a 2 or 3 the holiday party this year. I don't really understand this whole phrase, because if you intend to do something, that's your plan for the future. But Jesse says each year. So, and then in the next sentence she says, so I sketch people there. She uses the present tense. But intentions are for the future. So it sounds a little bit weird if you say, I intend to do something every week and I do it now. I mean, if you intend to do something every week or every year, then it should be in the future, not starting from now. So there's a little problem there. But still, it's easy to understand what she's saying. And she uses the word sketch, like if you use a pencil to draw. Sketch is a kind of I guess you could say uncommon vocabulary. Not too many people will use the word sketch when they talk about art. So that might help your vocabulary score. Art gallery or exhibition. Let's hear this. Okay, it was worth it. Why? Okay, so the answer is not really very fully extended. What is nice is the bucket list. It had always been a bucket list item. Now, usually people say it had always been on my bucket list. I don't think if you say bucket list item, it's wrong, but I think it's more common to say that something that you really, really wanted to do was on your bucket list. I just wish she explained why it was so great. Alright, I don't have too much to say about that. To form your own perception, okay, I guess she means like everybody looks at abstract art and they all have their own interpretation. I think here the word interpretation might be better than the word perception, because two people can look at the same thing and they can have a different idea of what it is or what it means. But the word for that is interpretation, not perception. And here we have the moreover again. Okay. Keep the moreover and the furthermore for writing. Filling my home. I do like that. I mean, it doesn't literally mean that you completely fill your home with that. It just means to have a lot of. So yeah, filling with, it's a good phrase to use. Benefits. I wish you would give some examples of this. These answers sound kind of terse. It's very short. Like the last thing, it's thrilling and rewarding to gain new artistic skills. Why is it thrilling? What is the reward? And some people cannot express in their daily lives. But if you paint, isn't that part of your daily life? Okay. I think maybe the best part of the answer is the very first word. Like, what benefits can you get from painting as a hobby? Endless. Well, on second thought, maybe it's not that great. Maybe she should have said the benefits are endless. But instead of saying a lot or many, she chose the word endless. It might have been better if she had said endless benefits, or the benefits are endless. But yeah, that's a good phrase to use instead of just many, or there are many benefits, instead of just saying that. Something else that's kind of good is that she uses the word condition, and then she uses that with suffering, and she uses those two with the preposition from, because those three words always go together. So people suffer from a certain condition. it's good to see those three together. So she has some idea of how to collocate, how to use specific words with other words that go together. Like I said, I just wish there were some examples here to exemplify our points. Alright, so that's it for drawings and paintings. Personally, I find this a very dry topic. But hey, a lot of the IELTS topics are dry. Okay, I don't remember what's next, but there's another video coming.